Hey, it's Joy. I messed up. I already cut the towel for my walker caddy before I mashed record. Completely forgot since I'm not used to this. So I actually folded my towel wrong and cut it wrong. So I made a larger pocket for the back so I could still get the butterflies on it for her. And then I'm going to use a different towel for the front. When I go to cut that, I will show you what I'm doing. I've got to serge the edge of the towel that I cut the end off of. I've done serge the sides, but I've got to serge the edge so it doesn't fray. I'm doing this on my Baby Lock Aventure 2. I'm going to change my presser foot so I can do a surgeon stitch. And see, this edge, see, I've got all these sides, I've done got them serged. I've got to do the end down here because I was trying to keep that to where it could be red. So when you start to do this, you can't start right on the very edge. You have to move back some, up some, because if you do, it'll just eat your fabric. I've got a serger. I just ain't got it out of the box yet. I've had it for 4 years and I ain't never took it out. Don't even remember how they showed me how to thread it. So I'm going to have to go to YouTube, look up my serger name, and learn how to thread it. I'm planning on getting that set up sometime this week. But today I'm making this for one of my best friends, Barbara Tucker. Cut my thread, raise my pressure foot, take it off, put it back up, put my regular pressure foot back on, change my stitch back to my normal straight stitch. I'm going to go over here, and this one's going to be the back, which they're the same, so it don't really matter. I had already opened them, got all the little pieces of plastic and cut the paper off of it. Then I ironed it down because the corner's always bent up. I ironed it down. Right there's where I'm going to put my pocket. Try to get this even. That's good enough. Alright, let's move you back over here to the sewing machine. There we go. Maybe you can see a little bit better on what I'm going to do. I'm actually taking that pin out and I'm just going to hold it. Always back stitch to lock your stitch in. Back stitch again. 3 to 4 stitches. Touch your thread. Go across the bottom. back stitch, back stitch. I always do 3 to 4 at least. Cut your thread. Go across the bottom. Lower your pressure foot. Back stitch. Cut your thread. Alright, now there you've got 2 pockets, and that's the back. Alright, let's move you back over here. Let me grab the towel. Do I want light blue or dark blue? This. That's going to make it too. Trying to decide if I want light blue or dark blue. I'm going to bring them over and choose. And I'm bringing another one over to see which I like the best. Alright. Let's set this out of the way. There's the dark blue. There's the light blue. There's the white and blue. I think the light blue. This will make it too busy, and the dark blue don't match. So we're going to go with the light blue. Okay, now I'm going to show you what I did before I started recording to cut my towel wrong. I had my towel laid out like this, and I folded it up. No, wait a minute. I had my towel laid out like this, and I folded it up and cut just a little bit off, which didn't leave enough room for the big pocket on the back. But I had cut both sides before I realized I had cut it wrong. When you do this, you lay your towel, let me cut that tag off. When you make your large pocket, I'm going to go about to that line right there. I'm going to measure this. It is right at 17. So let's get this on the line. And we are going to cut this at, I'm going to cut it at 16 and see if I like that. If I don't, I'll cut another inch off of it. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Take this pocket up. Fit a couple pins in to hold it into place. Alright, we're back over here at the sewing machine. Now we're going to sew our pockets. First thing I'm going to do is sew down the side to close the pocket up. I moved my needle just a little bit. Now I'm going to back stitch a few back stitches to lock the stitch in since I moved it. Back stitch, back forward, catch through, raise your pressure foot. Alright, you take that needle out. Okay, the first pocket on the end is going to be small for like pens and pencils. Lower your presser foot, back stitch, always back stitch, because as they use the pockets, the thread will break and it will unravel. So you always got to make sure you're back stitching. All the way to the end. Back stitch a couple stitches. I always go back forward, cut your thread. And then I'm going to go over here at the other end and close this end of the pocket up. I have always been told both of my grandmothers sewed, and I didn't pick up sewing until COVID happened, but both of my grandmothers sewed and tried to get me to sew, but I wouldn't. I wish I had, but I wouldn't. But I always remember them telling me, make sure you backstitch. If you don't backstitch, your project will fall apart. Because that thread just has to get pulled one time or get a little pressure against it. And the next thing you know. Alright. Now let's make 2 larger pockets. I think I'm going to go right. Do I want to go down that line? Yep. I'm going to go right down this line. My sewing machine will go way faster than this, but I don't ever sew faster than this unless I'm playing with my grandkids and letting them watch it go fast. They like to see it go fast. Cut your thread, raise your presser foot. Now I'm going to do something that I didn't do after I cut it. I am going to put a serged edge on the side that I cut so it doesn't start raveling. Let me cut that thread. Don't start at the very edge of it. If you do, all it's going to do is it's going to catch it and start eating it. I don't never go very fast at this. I know I'm not doing good yet making videos, but I'm learning. I'm trying. I do not know how to make part of a video, stop it, then make part of another video, stop it, and then end the video, and then mix them all together. I don't know how to do any of that editing or anything yet, so you're just going to get a pure, raw, natural video from start to finish. I might be talking, I might not, I might screw up, but that's natural too. Cut your thread. Take your snips, trims all the little threads off of it. Alright, we're going to go back over here. Put you where you can see. Get you. Now what you're going to do is you're going to center this. You're going to leave about 3 inches at the top, or more at the top than you do at the bottom. There's another thread. I don't know about snip my finger. I'm going to put a couple of pins in this to hold it where I want it. And a word of advice, if you're ever using pins, make sure and don't run over them. Because when you do, if your needle hits right on it, it will break it. And it will fly it towards your face. I broke a pin one time. It hit me right in my glasses. Thank gosh I had my glasses on. I don't know if I can get that in there. Yep, it went in. Alright, let's move you back over here. Get you right where you can see. Look. Got to change back to my original pressure foot and stitch. Let's back you up a little bit so I don't turn you over. Start right on the edge. If you've never sewn before, get you a cheap sewing machine. Find you an old sewing machine at a thrift store. It may need service, may need a little bit of oil. But when I first started, I started out with a sewing machine that my brother gave me. He had bought his wife, and she decided that she didn't like to sew. So, right after COVID started, I mentioned to my brother that I wanted to start sewing, and he said, well, I've got a sewing machine in my closet on the top shelf. Celia used it for about an hour. Didn't like it. would you want me to bring it to you? And I was like, yes, please. Well, I managed to sell close to 5,000 masks during COVID. Alright, now what you do, you get this at the bottom, right at the edge, because you got to close your pocket up at the bottom. Go forward, back stitch, I'm going to pull that pin out because I ain't quite sure where the tip of it's at. Back stitch quite a few, go back forward, cut your thread. Find my other little thread pieces, cut them off. I do have a thread catcher over here, I'll show it to you later. After this video, I'm going to make a video on some of the sewing items that I like, that I have, that I'm glad I have. There's another needle. Let's pull her out. Got all the needles out. Alright, let me grab the other piece. And she's got threads that's not been snipped. On the back. I might have to lint roll it. Alright. There's up and there's up. Alright. Go to your zigzag stitch. Widen it. I widen mine to 7 millimeters. That's as big as it goes. And I go up to 2.5 on length. You get these side by side. Make sure everybody's pockets are, yep. Side by side. Lower your pressure, let's go up some. Lower your pressure foot. And you just put a wide zigzag all the way down, connecting the two mats. First time I ever made one, I connected the two mats and then I had to add the pockets. It wasn't as easy. It can be done. Cut your thread. Snip your little thread tails. There's one on this end. Okay, now I'm going to show you what this is looking like right now before we have to add the Velcro. Alright, you got your dish drying mat. It folds over like this. You got your big pocket. You got a pen pocket and 2 medium-sized pockets. Then on the back, she's special, so I made her one special with a bigger pocket. She's got a big pocket there, and then she's got a big pocket there. Now all I've got to do is add the Velcro. And I'm going to lint roll it. Or I cut that first towel and it had all the little white frizzies. There we go. Alright. Let's 10 inches. Alright, how long is this? 17 inches. So let's go from 7.5. No, wait, let's go down a little bit. Right there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good. I'm going to put one on this end too. Now I cut a 10-inch piece of Velcro, and this measures a little over 17 inches. Okay, if you measure it a little over 17, you go 1, 2, 3, 4 up, and it starts 1, 2, 3. That's close enough. Actually, I know that will bother me. I'm going to bring that down about halfway. Alright, cut 10 inches. Back you up. Can you still see? Yeah. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3. What was on that end? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I ain't putting a needle on the other end. I'll just hold it. No, I am. Because I'm going to close it and make sure this matches. It's just hard to get a needle through this Velcro. Yep, matches perfect. Alright, let's move you back over here. Are you where you can see? Yep. Hi. Alright, before you start sewing, you need to go back to your original stitch, straight stitch. I have to back you up. I'm hitting you. Get right on the edge. Pull your needle out after you drop your needle. And then I'm going to back stitch. I did about 6, at least 6 or 7 with that. I want to give somebody credit for this. I learned how to make this by watching a video with, I can't remember her name, but she goes by She Sews. That's how I knew how to make my dish drying mat bag and the walker caddies. I learned it from her. I want to give her credit. She is a very smart woman. And she gave me the courage to start doing this. Because like I was saying before, I started sewing during COVID. And then my mom passed. And I got depressed. So for a little over 3 years, I did nothing. I had a house full of people that moved into my home. I did nothing. I sit on the couch. That was it. Well, I finally got sober. When I got sober, I wanted to do stuff again. I wanted to be happy. So I moved everything out of my mom's old bedroom, and I moved my bed and furniture into that bedroom, and I made my master bedroom my sewing room. I have more room. I've got room for everything. I've got room to move. I've got room to store stuff. That was the smartest decision of all, is moving into the smaller bedroom and making my master bedroom into my happy place. And this is my happy place. Take the needle out. Cut your thread. Alright, lower your pressure foot. There's some threads that I missed. I'm not pulling, I'm just guiding. Alright, take your snips, look around your whole project. I keep throwing them in the floor, and I've got a caddy over here that thread snips goes in, but I'm awful about not putting them in there. Now, when I change my thread, I always put them in there. But when I'm clipping these little pieces of thread, I am horrible about just throwing them in the floor. There's one. Nope, that's just one I cut. Let's see. There's one. There's one. Let's check this side. Alright, I'm going to put you back over here. Angle ya. Alright, it's Velcroed. See? You just unvelcro it when you need to wash it. Velcro it back. You've got your large pocket, a pen pocket, and whatever you want to use for them. On the back side, you've got another large pocket on this one, and a pocket in the middle. I'm going to get the walker. I'm going to bring it in here and show you what it looks like on the walker. Okay. This was my little mama's walker. What I'm going to do, you got it on there. Alright. Let me see. See how it fits on the walker? Fits right across the handle. You've got your big pocket, pen pockets. You put your coloring books. You could put paper, newspaper, reading books, word search books. And then when you're walking, you can put your phone, your glasses, anything. You could even sit a cup in that and it would hold it. You could use that as a cup holder. It's not made just for phones and stuff like that. There's more to using this with whatever you decide you want to. I hope she loves it. I'm proud of making it. And I'm proud of myself. Thanks.